Good morning. Welcome to Trading Hour. I'm Reema Tendulkar. With me is Prashant Nair. Markets have clearly no fear of heights. Every day we're busting new levels. It's 12,400, which has been conquered today. Though, of course, in the last 30 minutes, you have seen a bit of profit taking. So the Nifty, the Sensex, the mid-cap index have all come off from the top of the trading session. And the mid-cap index quite a bit. So it's just about holding up in the green now with a gain of about 0.1%. But nonetheless, it's been a fairly steady climb for our markets in the last few trading sessions. The Nifty Bank is mildly lower. There is a Supreme Court hearing on the loan moratorium, which is currently underway. So the markets will await the judgment as well as the observations from that. But for now, it's in the green. For the markets, fresh record levels hit early on in morning trade, though in the last 30 minutes, some profit booking. Hi, Prashant.
Reema, hi. Good morning. And as you said, I mean, no fear of heights, right? I mean, it continues to charge ahead, and the rush of money that we are seeing is pretty large. Every day, you're seeing large amounts of FI buying. You know, the only thing, though, is this is shown up in pretty much everywhere, especially equities, of course, that we talk about. But it's not shown up in one asset class, which is, I mean, at least here in India, right on the top of the list. I'm talking about gold prices. The reason we are talking about gold prices today, of all the reasons, by the way, gold over the last 1 month is absolutely flat. I mean, you know, you can look at the Nifty or any other equity index or other asset classes like hard metals, industrial metals, and they've all done very well. Oil has done very well. But gold has been sideways for the last 1 month, and it's not really done meaningfully, or it's underperformed pretty much everything else over the last 6 months as well. Over the last 1 year, gold is up some 25%. But why are we talking about this right now? This is because gold overnight has posted a bullish outside day and also closed above a horizontal resistance range of between $1,849 to $1,851 an ounce. This is what is new. You know, a bullish outside day is a very simple two-day price bar pattern. And it could be a bullish outside day, it could be a bearish outside day. And what we've seen overnight is a clear bullish outside day, the high and the low higher than the high and the low of the previous session. So this is basically what we've seen overnight. And as I said, it's also taken out the horizontal near-term resistance of 1849 to 1851. I mean, prices, after yesterday's price action, when we look back, one can make the conclusion, I mean, at this point, not a firm conclusion, but I mean, some sort of a conclusion that prices bottomed out around the $1,765 an ounce level. I mean, that was the recent low from where prices have bounced. Now, where does it head from here? There are two hurdles, basically, which gold prices need to take out to confirm a fresh uptrend, a complete reversal and a fresh uptrend. There is the 55-day moving average at $1,878, and also there is a downward sloping trend line resistance at $1,931. So, I mean, you know, if gold prices take out the latter resistance, which is at 1931, you know, then the breakthrough would suggest a reversal of the recent downtrend, which I was talking about over the last 1 month particularly, and open up for further gains, at least towards the $1,966, which is the November high, and ultimately perhaps, you know, likely higher still. The point is, this is important, not just, I mean, gold is one of the most actively traded asset classes, not just around the world, but here in India as well in terms of contracts on Indian exchanges. And it's got implications for listed stocks as well. I mean, gold finance companies come to mind directly. For now, as I said, we'll watch this space. It looks like gold prices, after the price action we've seen in US markets overnight, seems to have bottomed out. Back to you, Reema.
Thanks, Prashant, for that comprehensive update on gold and where prices are headed. But let's talk a bit about the markets. Prashant referred to the unprecedented gush of money into the markets, but what's also aiding the sentiment and the market rise has been that the economic indicators have been improving. So let's try and get some more color on what the import-export cargo data seems to suggest. Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, which is India's biggest container handling port, which records over 50% of the container cargo volumes, is now here with us. Mr. Sanjay Sethi, the chairman of JNPT. Good morning, sir, and thanks so much for joining in. In fact, the first question is if you could tell us, what has been the economic recovery according to you, the numbers which JNPT has been recording for the month of November, as well as if you could just provide some more color on how it would compare with, say, 3 months ago, as well as last year. So just want to get a sense of where we would compare with pre-COVID levels and your own expectations.
Good morning. The main issue was, I think, the first quarter, our volumes were lagging by about 35%, which is April, May, June. Now, the good news, of course, is that this November, we've recorded about 7.6% month-on-month increase, let's say a year-on-year increase compared to the last month. So the recovery really has started around August. And now, October and November, we are better than last year.
Mr. Sethi, good morning. Prashant here. Are we basically, compared to pre-COVID levels, where are we at in terms of volumes and cargo handled?
In terms of percentage, if you understand this, we do about 5 million TEUs a year, let's say last 2 years. So when we went down by 35 to 38%, as I said, from August recovery has started. So we are about 16% lesser than last year overall now.
Okay, so 16% lower than pre-COVID levels and as well as last year. So if you could provide some more sectoral color, where is it that we've seen the maximum increase in volumes? Where is it that we're still lagging?
See, even during the COVID or the peak of the COVID, I think the pharma, the agribusiness did all right. In fact, it did well. The exports, in fact, picked up later. Now, I think basically automobiles have picked up, building materials, petroleum products, chemicals. All these 4-5 sectors have now been performing much better in the last 3 months.
Mr. Sethi, all labor issues, etc., sorted out completely? I mean, one would imagine that would be the case?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think those labor issues are mainly that Q1 issues when there was a lockdown and people had gone back.
Yeah.
Now I think we do not have any such issues.
Mr. Sethi, I know, we should probably pose this question to shipping companies, but we've been getting reports from, anecdotal evidence, and there have been some reporting on this as well, that there is a big shortage of containers. Could you confirm this? Because, you work with all large companies, not just Indian, but from around the world as well. Is this true? And if it is true, what really is causing it?
I'll tell you, I think it's partly true in the sense that because of a certain imbalance of imports and exports, which especially last 2 or 3 months has happened, which basically means that overall for the country, the exports have increased and the imports have gone down by about 28%. Typically, these empties that we are talking about, it's the containers which, when we get the imports, are later on used by the exports. So when there is an imbalance like this, there is a certain shortage that is created.
Right. This is not because of so we've seen some further lockdowns in Western countries. We've seen something in Hong Kong, for example, today. Is this because of COVID-related lockdowns as well, that containers are getting blocked? Is that one of the reasons, perhaps?
See, when we say this, as I said, for each country, let's say there's a huge dependence on countries like China. So if the imports go down and the exports increase, as I said, so there is a certain repositioning of these empties that is required. Now, if you're asking what happens to this issue, to my mind, it's a very temporary issue. And talking to a lot of these companies, what we expect is that the last quarter, which starts next month, this should be almost normal.
Okay. You're saying the last quarter things should go back to being normal. What about, sir, again, reports of shortage of trucks along major routes? Our colleague reported on this earlier. Are you seeing that from the port to CFS terminals, etc.? Shortage of transport from the port to elsewhere?
Again, I think this had happened at that time when there was a shortage of truck drivers. See, the vehicle owners typically are also the CFS themselves own vehicles, and there are a lot of these local agencies who own these. But because the truck drivers were not available, now when we have tried to monitor this now, the situation is completely normal as far as JNPT is concerned.
All right, Mr. Sethi, thank you very much for those quick updates. Appreciate your time here on CNBC TV 18 as always. And, thank you for speaking with us today. We'll take a very quick break, but just want to take a quick look at the Nifty, which is completely sold off. I mean, we've got 4 points on the Nifty. 13,360 is where we are at. And let's just quickly take a look at the Bank Nifty as well, which is down 1/3%. So from the high of 30,335, we are about 250 points off on the Bank Nifty already. We slip into that break. We are back. What's happening in the commodity space? My colleague Manisha on the other side.